Well, yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world, and welcome along to the F05 eSports. We're here for Division 2, and we're here for the final round. We're here in Abu Dhabi, and it's going to be a 100% race to round out the season here. It's been a fantastic season. I've been fortunate to commentate now my 6th race here for the F05 Championship. Contract has been renewed for next season, so you have me on comms for both tiers for F05 next year. So that'll be good to hear, and it's been a good run so far. I'm looking forward to getting more into it next year. But for the time being, let's get out into qualifying. Ignore what it says on the top right-hand side of your screen. It is a short qualifying session, so it's not Q1, Q2, and Q3 like our traditional methods. It is just, in fact, a 18-minute qualifying session here in the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. If I sound a little bit rough, I'm still recovering from a cold a little bit, so I do apologise. It's not my usual smooth voice. A little bit rough around the edges, but aren't we all sometimes? Let's go ahead and have a look at how our track looks for today then. 16 turns, 8 to the left and 8 to the right make up this 3.2 mile circuit with just 2 DRS zones here in Abu Dhabi. Not much elevation change, bit of a hill through turns 3, and that is about it. Round this beautiful, beautiful track. It's going to be Graham Tier out first here for the Alfa Romeo team. And one thing that we do have to stress, the Drivers' Championship has been wrapped up. El Pato in the McLaren does wrap up the Drivers' Championship after skipping Las Vegas. We decided not to run that as a majority of our drivers decided it wasn't a good enough track. So we find ourselves here in Abu Dhabi for the final round. El Pato is the Drivers' Champion. But if anything, the Constructors is still wide open between the Ferraris and the McLarens. Let's go ahead and have a look at our standings. So here's our drivers. El Pato, quite clear of the next in line JVR Racing, or as he will appear on our screens today, Ghost Reaper. Smithy, the other Ferrari, is jumps up into 3rd after last week's results in Brazil. A mix of other drivers then around those sort of points. Bear in mind, El Pato's teammate Patterson is all the way down in 16th. Let's go and have a look at our teams one then. McLaren, here we go. It's 7 points that separates the McLaren and the Ferraris at the moment. Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin in 3rd and 4th respectively are out of the competition here this time around. So rather unfortunate for them. But they'll be looking to get back into the race or get back into things next season along. But anyway, back to the qualifying session. We're still on board with Graham Tier. He's going to be the first one to set a lap here. And let's see what he can put across the line. Where's he going to go? Of course he goes. Pot was a 1:23.8. Our expected lap time around here, just for reference, is going to be a 1:23 flat. That's what our analysts are saying is going to be the predicted pole time. We don't have a graphic for it, unfortunately, as Ghost Reaper, aka JVR Racing, does go into the lead, and that's immediately taken by the Red Bull and the reserve for tonight of E Walker. E Walker being one of our reserves for tonight. They've gone 6/10 quicker than Ghost Reaper at the moment. There's still a lot on laps though. We're on board with Patterson. He's coming around, I believe, to finish his first hot lap. He slots himself up into second place with a 1:23.5. The other McLaren, El Pato, is just coming around to start his hot lap. So we'll hop on board with him. This is, of course, our season champion. So we'll watch him for one final qualifying session. Let's see what he can pull out the bag here around the Yas Marina circuit. Just as always, it is TK on comms. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I will have Owen alongside me later. If you don't know who Owen is, he commentated last week for you all. Absolutely fantastic young man. And he's just running a little bit late from a family event. It's Christmas. It's one of those things. We did just see a tow there by Patterson onto El Pato. Maybe a little bit of early help for the McLarens. So that'd be interesting to look at, see if that's going to benefit his lap time. Coming around the left-hander here as he heads into Sector 3. The Sector 3 timing line, and normally the safety car line as passing over just there. You can see in the map in the bottom right-hand of your screen. Yellow flags, car going slowly. That looks like one of the Williams in Sector 1. But we will stay on board with Pato. He's going to be probably one of the next ones to set a lap time. We've got quite a few other lap times coming in. Fruity Sniffle set a 1:23.9. Son of Rome with a 1:24.8. Apex Joe 1:25 flat. Snoop with a 1:25.3. Hoodie Pete with a 1:26 flat. And Bombser with a 1:43.6. I've been told I've been saying his name wrong for so long. It's not Bombaz, it's Bombser. Anyway, El Pato finds himself up into P5 after that first run. At a qualifying run, there was Bombser. There we go. Up into P3 with a 1:23.6. We got his name right. He's looking to make the make a good impression here in this qualifying session. Everybody else, I believe, is out either on in-laps or hot laps. So let's go have a look at our replay live action in the top right-hand side of your screen. This is the replay here, though. And it was an interesting tow by the McLarens. And a good bit of teamwork there between the two of them to try and assist in a good qualifying position. Speaking of which, El Pato does find himself down in P6 at the moment. See if anyone else is on a hot lap. It doesn't look like it at the moment. Bombser is trying. Razout has managed to find his way back into the session now. F05 did look like he might be on one, so we'll stack on board with him. He's low on ERS, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be not on a hot lap. Let's see what he is as he crosses a timing line. Past all the timing lines, unfortunately. Let's wait and see what he does. See if he dives into the pits. Currently sitting on a 1:25 flat. I reckon this could be another hot lap attempt, especially at this sort of speed. Yeah, definitely another hot lap. Here we go then. Round the corner. It's going to be around the 1:24s. It's about half a second improvement. Finds himself up into P8. It's a good improvement for the Williams. I think we almost saw an Alpine going a little bit raggedy there. Son of Rome's setting up for one of his hot laps. Just getting out of the way. The Red Bull who goes flying past him. I'm wondering if that's going to be Joe. And he's going to come across the line. It's going to be 1:24.1 here. So great drive for him. Fruity Sniffles coming out the pits. Apex Rome's just starting a hot lap. The two Hasses both on a hot lap. Here we go then. Purple sector for English Dave. This is his first run, so just bear in mind that it might not be as things seem at the moment. See where he can go as he comes around the final sector here. One of the trickiest turns in this circuit, in my opinion, coming under that bridge. It's an off-cambered turn to the left. It's quite easy to throw your car in the wrong direction. What's he going to get as he comes across the line? It's going to be a 1:23.2. That is a fantastic lap there by English Dave. Finds himself up into P2 at the moment. We're going to call Z again. I still can't pronounce his name. He goes fastest with a 1:23.1. About 600ths of a second there. Quicker than E Walker's first attempt. So both Hasses having a really good start to qualifying here. We'll go on board with Razout. We'll go back on board with Son of Rome. He's on a hot lap as he comes across. Oh, he's definitely backed out of that one. Yeah, maybe a bit of an early early wiggle moment for him. He's on a lot of ERS, so he's definitely backed out. Will be looking to go again. What's Hoodie Pete doing? Hoodie Pete looks like he's on a in-lap, that rear light flashing. So he's on an in-lap. Everybody else is on a bit of a pause round here. Walker, how are you doing here in the chat? Currently in P2 in the qualifying session as well. I wish you good luck. Let's see if we can get those extra few tenths, or extra tenth, shall I say, to potentially secure pole position here. There are 9 minutes left in this qualifying session. 58 laps of this Yas Marina circuit to come following that. And still a lot of qualifying to go. That's an invalidation by Hoodie Pete. What's Fruity Sniffle doing? He's not improving out of Sector 1. Let's see what he does through Sector 2 and through the chicane here. Heavy on the brakes down into that chicane. Gets the car rotated. Beautifully avoiding both sausage curves, which are quite crucial to keeping some lap time here. Rear wing off that AlphaTauri flies open once again as he heads down towards the Sector 2 timing line. What's his delta at? He's up by a few hundredths of a second here. He'll need a little bit more than that if he wants to jump a few positions. Let's see what he does through Sector 3, shall we? Getting that car really nicely rotated. Under the bridge he goes. That off-cambered left-hander keeps it just within track limits. I think he would have lost a little bit of time just through the rotation of the car there. A final corner to come, heavy brake, and then bomb it round that right-hander. What's he going to be able to do as he comes across the line? It's about a 2/10 improvement. Finds himself up into P6. And I think he'll be happy with that so far. Son of Rome still invalidated. Razout, though, is on a hot lap. Let's see what he can do as he comes under the tunnel to get his first hot lap on the board. 2 more corners in front of him in that beautiful black Mercedes they've decided to revert back to this year after running silver for a year. Oh, bit of a blockage there, but he finds himself up into P12 with a 1:24.43 then. Patterson looks like he's on a hot lap. He's got his teammate in front of him. You can almost predict these two will be somewhere close on track like anything else. And I think it might be a second-hand tow here for Patterson potentially. As they're a bit far apart for this first one. Will we see a tow on the second? No, it looks like Patterson's backing off. You can hear the engine backing out a little bit. So maybe trying to get some gap between the two McLarens. Maybe not going for a tow this time around. Or maybe he went for an earlier tow on his teammate. Not quite sure then. Definitely backing out. Let's see what Pato's doing. He's gone purple Sector 2 then. Strap in, ladies and gents, for a blasting final sector here in the McLaren. The season champion is not going to give up easy as he finds his way through the twist of the turns. Under the tunnel he goes. Gets the car rotated beautifully using all the curb to his advantage. 2 more corners in front of him, both to the right. Using all the track, quick on the brakes, quick jab down on the brakes, gets the car rotated and straight blast to the line. He improves by half a second, jumps his teammate, and that finds 1 McLaren in P4, 1 McLaren in P5 then. Patterson deciding to stop on track as he lets the AlphaTauri past. Was that Fruit Sniffle? No, it wasn't. That's going to be Snoop. He's going to come across the line to start his hot lap, I assume. Yes, he does. The ERS counter at the bottom of his steering wheel starts to count down then. And let's see what the second AlphaTauri can bring to us here. Try to see if there's anyone else who's going to be a quicker lap time. Ghost Reaper, who we just caught at the end of a lap there, jumps up with a 1:23.3, so he jumps up into P4 now. Looking like a very competitive qualifying session as things stand. Patterson will be looking to make an improvement. He's definitely on a hot lap this time around. Let's see what he can do as he heads towards the chicane in Sector 2. This is probably one of the most vital parts of the lap. It can be made or broken here. Got to get the car rotated. He's gone a little bit narrow into that second part of the chicane. And will he continue to push on? He does. The ERS still counting down the rear wing. Remaining closed then. Oh, there we go. Late open. I wonder if that's going to be... yeah, he's about a second down. So maybe backing out of the lap is Patterson this time around. We'll watch and see what he does. We'll have a Red Bull in front of him, who lets him pass quite graciously going wide there. Lovely bit of sportsmanship between drivers. Oh, we got a spin there by one of the AlphaTauris. That's Snoop. Currently last in the standings. He's parked up Letting a few drivers pass. Still in the reverse, lad. There we go. Gear 1. Let's get the car moving forward. Oh, another one. Lets the Ferrari through. And great sportsmanship there to let everyone go past before he comes in. Let's see what Patterson does. And Patterson does indeed come into the pit lane, as does Ghost Reaper to finish his. Wanzhou next in line. Z, don't worry, mate. I'm also a little bit ill, so you will join me in pushing through. Bomzer then, he's going to come across the line. Let's see what he can put on. And it's going to be a 1:23.4. That might have been the start of a lap. Let's just make sure. No, that was definitely an end of a lap. So up into 6th place goes one Aston Martin. Just enough to split the McLarens as things stand. Graham Tier is just starting a lap, so we'll see if anyone else is a little bit further around. Smithy's joined after attending, I believe, a family wedding earlier on. He's just got enough time to qualify. If he gets in, I believe he'll have one run at it. But Son of Rome currently finds himself in P14. Yeah, no worries, Owen. No worries. Hope the journey home goes well for you. So he says he's one of my friends. Nice. We'll stick on board with Son of Rome here. He's coming through Sector 3. He'll want to make an improvement on P14. Smithy is definitely in. He's in the Ferrari. Can he get out and set a lap time? This will be the one to watch. He's got 3 minutes. Definitely enough time to get out for a hot lap here. He's just got to get his setup sorted first. And what can Son of Rome produce as he comes around the final corner here for the Alpine team? Let's see what he can do as he goes across the line. It's a 1:25.4. 6/10 down on his fastest lap time. So it looks like he's going to improve this time around. Gramsay decides that lap isn't going to be good enough for him. He goes into the pits. Wanzhou, decides that he is not improving either. Bomzer is back out on a lap, although I think this might be a recovery lap. Rear wing flashing, so definitely harvesting some ERS. Yeah, like I was in the chat, make sure to leave a like, share the stream. Let's get some people in for the 100% race. For the last race on the F05 YouTube, they'll be moving over to my Twitch come the new year. So you'll come find us over there. It's at the Mousemeister, as tagged in the video description. Let's go on board with Smithy then. Let's see if he can get out and get a lap going. And here he comes then. The prodigal son has returned. Let's see what he can put forward for the Ferrari. Bear in mind, they're still in a championship battle here with the McLaren team. Grant is retired. That is in the pits. Smithy's got to get a wiggle on here. He's not going to have much time for a warm-up. E-Walker, there we go. Time is really flying in. He's gone 6/10 quicker than anybody else. That was kind of out of nowhere. A 1:22.5 for the Red Bull. It's all now to play for. There's about 6/10 between second and first. Could we see some more cars slotting in there towards the end of this qualifying session? I'm sorry we missed that. It kind of came out of nowhere. I will hop aboard with Smithy though and see what he can put down. We'll wait for his outlap to finish. Let's try and get some hot laps in. As Hoodie Pete comes around the final corner. Can he improve? What's he going to do? It's 3/10 better than his previous best, but I don't think it's going to be much jumping up the leaderboard. And he finds himself in P10 at the moment. The driver just behind him, Wanzhou, comes across the line now. Can he improve? Does not improve, about half a second slower than his previous best. I've got Mercedes about to come across the line. That'll be Razout. Razout comes up into P7 then with a 1:23.4. Who do we think will get pole at the moment? I think E. Walker's probably going to nab it. English Dave might be in with the final jab as he starts his final hot lap here around the Yas Marina circuit. Patterson will be looking to improve some time. He's about 400ths up on his best at the moment. Fruity Sniffle comes across the line. He'll have time to start another lap just. Smithy then, he's just started his hot lap, so we'll hop up with him. We'll keep an eye on the timing screen on the left-hand side of your screen. If you aren't currently on a hot lap though, your time has run out. Session has finished. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left on the clock to get those final runs in. And let's see what our drivers can produce here. E. Walker decides not to go for another lap. Both Hasses are actually in front, so we'll see what they're going to be able to produce first. Z currently about 2/10 up on his previous best. He needs to find about 4/10 through Sector 3 if he wants to take this pole position. Patterson jumps up into P2 with a fantastic last-ditch effort. Can Z or English Dave or El Pato? El Pato stuck up into P4 as well, so both McLarens doing really well. What can Z do? He finds himself back up into P2 then. Says no thank you to the McLarens. He's going to take back the second place. English Dave has invalidated his lap. Can Vrazol come across the line and affect anything? No, he can't. Next will be Smithy across the line. As he comes around, English Dave has invalidated, so he's not going to be able to improve his lap time. He will go into the pits. What can Smithy put down on his one and only hot lap? Can he cause a little bit of upset here? Rounds the final corner, and it's only good for P13. This is not looking good for the Ferraris in their constructors' battle with the McLarens. The McLarens have got a clear edge on them heading in to qualifying, and it's going to be E. Walker who takes pole position here in Abu Dhabi, the reserve, first time in, and an absolutely fantastic lap by the Red Bull driver. He's back in the pits, and he's going to be starting on pole position then for this afternoon's race. Bear in mind, a full 100% race here, double what the usual race distance is for a lot of our drivers. So let's see what he can do come the next few moments of action. Just while I have a quick drink, we'll put the track map back up onto the screen just for your reference. Well, there we go then. Here's the rundown of that qualifying session. E. Walker takes pole position with Z in the Haas just 2/10 behind him after all is said and done. The McLaren partnership of Patterson and El Pato find themselves in P3 and P4 and looking good to secure the Constructors' Championship here today. English Dave in the second Haas finds himself in P5. Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari makes it up to 6th. Bomzer, Razout, Fridges Neville and Gramtier make up your top 10. And then Hoodie Pete, Wanjo, Smithy, Apex Joe, Son of Rome and Snoop make up your 16 drivers here for this afternoon's race. This is going to be an exciting one. As Owen says in the chat, McLaren have the upper hand in quali, but will they be able to maintain it through the race? That is the question that everyone is going to be asking here as we see the dusk lights of Abu Dhabi raining over the paddock. Famously a night race here in Abu Dhabi, and famously the last race of the season, at least in the last few years when they've paid for it to be last. But we will see tonight. Let's have a quick look at what our weather's doing. It's going to get a little bit warmer towards the latter half of the race, actually. It's currently at 23 degrees Celsius, or 73 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're looking to get up to highs of 25 degrees C, or 77 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature later on in the race. And the track temperature currently sits at about 29 degrees Celsius, or 84 degrees Fahrenheit. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the race. I'm just going to go back and look at the replay while everyone loads in. And this was a bit of a tow between the two McLarens. We've seen them do it in previous races. And once again, showing off the true partnership between the two of them here in Abu Dhabi. And actually this way, absolutely done to perfection here around Abu Dhabi. Really, really well done. Here we go then. Formation lap for the final race of the season. 58 laps coming up very shortly. And the Red Bull of E. Walker leads them all away to start this hot lap. Let's have a quick look at what our tyres are doing. And wow, you very rarely see this. All but one driver starting on the yellow walled medium tyre here in Abu Dhabi. Snoop at the back of the pack, deciding that softs are going to be the tyre to start on. This is really interesting. No driver deciding to go onto the hards to start. It's every driver, bar one, starting on those mediums. So this will be really interesting. Tyre deg will come into it later on in the race, especially during the pit stops. It's all going to be about, will they go undercut, will they go overcut? And I wonder what sort of damage Snoop can do off the start line here. This will be the key question for a lot of us. We see a few bouncing around. That's just server connection issues. Don't worry about that too much. We'll wait and see as everyone gets themselves into place here. We'll just watch a bit of F1 cinematics. So here we go then, everyone lining back up onto the grid. I'm not sure if you caught what happened with Walker just there as we're heading round the final corner. Managed to lose the car and spin out. I'm not sure if that was a 360 attempt, but whatever it was, poorly executed by the Red Bull driver. But anyway, let's go back to the race. Everyone lining up as they should be. We have had green flags waved. Here we go then. Oh, we got everyone kind of sat waiting. Juan Joe has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Not quite sure what's going on here. He's gone and parked up. We do see these glitches every now and then. We saw this a couple of weeks ago, if I remember correctly. It didn't allow anyone to start. So, I'm just going to go replay this because it looks rather funny when he just goes and parks up. So yeah, a bit of a disqualification there. Not quite sure what's going on between everybody. The drivers are waiting to start. I believe we've had a session glitch. So, we'll just wait and see what's going on. We'll wait and see if we get lights. Oh, there we go then. We've had a loading screen. That's always positive. I don't know why it's put me in this camera angle though. Waiting for Juan Joe to load in. Yeah, we had a formation lap glitch. Just waiting on one driver. Not quite sure what's going on. We love a formation lap glitch. Apologise for this. There's not much we can do about it from the commentary booth. We do just wait and see if Juan Joe's going to be able to get back in or load into the session adequately. Juan Joe's left the session. We've got lights, but we've still got a loading screen. Not quite sure what's going on. I've got no telemetry up. There we go. Oh, loads of glitches going on as the cars try and set themselves up. Someone hasn't pulled away, but here's the two McLarens going away. We've got a Red Bull spin. That, I believe, is E. Walker, our pole position sitter here for the start. We've got a spin by English Dave as well. No, that was his teammate, Z, as I think a lot of drivers are leaving. As we head through the start of this race here, Patterson does lead us away. We got a retirement early. E. Walker's retired. We've got a safety car straight away. And that's definitely a Red Bull restart I reckon we're going to see a restart here. Really not sure what happened. The game suddenly announced that we're going racing, and I think it caught a lot of drivers out. It's still saying Wan Zhou is at the start of this race. It's still saying he's leading this race. So not quite sure. We've got English Dave, who's definitely not in his car. We're going for a restart, says Ollie Gabbins. So there we go then. So do just bear with us. We will be right back. Well, we're back. Good afternoon. We got everyone reset. Oh, a bit of a cough there as I went to restart. We got everyone reset. We are going to miss one driver. Unfortunately, their VR headset has decided to screw them over a little bit. But we are back. Hope everyone is doing well. And we are here for the final race. No formation lap this time around. And just 58 laps of racing action. We got about 10-15 minutes before Owen comes and joins us in the commentary booth. But hopefully our drivers, just a note to our drivers as well, if you are listening to the stream, remember your setups, gents. Remember your setups. New lobby, new setup needs to be put on. Anyway, there's my word of warning out the way. Hopefully we'll get to see lights before lights go on, but knowing this game, it will probably start without knowing our countdown is going on. I've got to reset this because we're now in a new lobby. Reset. There we go. Here we go then. It's 4-5 red lights. And there's lights out and away we go. The Red Bull this time around gets a good pull away. So does Z. But Patterson gets an absolutely fantastic drive out of P3 into P2. He's going to go down the inside. They're 3 wide through turn 1. Can Walker hold on to it as he comes through turns 2 and 3 here? Patterson tries to go around the outside. Both McLarens now have made up a good few positions off that start. And so has Z. He's just holding on to P4 as things stand. There's a collision further back. As Hoodie Pete is round, and oh no, there's a collision there between Walker and someone else. We didn't quite catch who, but the Red Bull has been spun round as they head down towards turn 4. And it looks like potentially collision between teammates. I'm not quite sure. We'll head back up the grid now, though, as there's a lot going on in this midfield as they run down through Sector 2. Z's managed to jump up both McLarens through that collision and get himself back up into P1 here. The two McLarens immediately back on the chase. Apex Joe and Fruity Sniffle still battling it out as they head through the chicane. It's going to be Son of Rome trying to make up advantage here through Fruity Sniffles. As they head round, Son of Rome trying to instantly get that position back. Oh, sorry, Fruity Sniffle trying to get that position back off of Apex Joe as they head round to finish off lap number 1. Through Sector 3 they go now. Gramtier and Snoop still battling it out. Snoop starting last, of course. And these two having a really good battle, trying to get up into that last of the points positions. And it looks like Snoop just has to give that up. Gramtier just has the better front speed. But Bombs are in a bit of a lonely position there, and it's a Haas sandwich filled with a McLaren stuffing at the moment. Z followed by Pato and Patterson, and English Dave in the second Haas just behind them. Ghost Reaper losing out a couple of positions as they head out of the first turn then, and he's going to have to find himself back into P9, his teammate just behind him. It looks like he might have a bit of wing damage. That's Apex Joe going around, he's in the wall. Doesn't have any damage fortunately, but he's going to find himself back into dead last. And that's not what the Williams driver will have wanted straight off the bat. Will English Dave look to make a move here on Patterson as they head down the first of the long straights in lap 2 here of the 58 laps to go around this Yas Marina circuit. He's not going to try and make a move, but here they're going about 2 or 3 wide as we head down towards this this heavy braking zone here. How they're going to stack up. It's going to be Fruity Sniffle followed by Son of Rome, followed by Ghost Reaper behind him. Snoop, Smithy and Walker battling out. Walker obviously trying to recover after that earlier collision. He's going to go down the inside of Smithy. Smithy gives him just enough room here as they head down towards the spoon curve. Will he try and dive down the inside? Yes, he does. Break slightly late with contact. Smithy does well to actually save himself there. Gramtier almost trying to make a bit of a jump on the Ferrari early on. And Wan Zhou just behind him as well. Back up the front though we go. And Z is pulling a good gap on the two McLarens then. He's got a second to El Pato. Patterson's a second off his teammate. And English Dave on the chase as well. Bomser sets the fastest lap of the race. He's really getting involved now on the chase between him and English Dave. This is the battle for P4. DRS enabled. Ghost Reapers into the pits earlier. I reckon we saw some damage from his spin earlier on. And this is where it could be crucial. It might be an early move by Bomser if he wants to try and get past English Dave and start a mount for those podium places. DRS will be enabled, of course. There we go. English Dave doesn't have it this time around. Just not close enough to Patterson in front. This could be an easy pass for Bomser into the heavy braking zone for the chicane. Just doesn't go for it, though. Will we see it through here, though? No, just doesn't get the drive out of the hairpin, out of the chicane rather, that he wants, but he does have a second attempt under DRS. I don't think the straight's going to be long enough for what he wants to achieve. He might have to go for a dive into the long, winding left-hander, and just not on this occasion is one that he wants to go for. Son of Rome, though, gets past E. Walker around the outside, but E. Walker immediately gets that position back. Patterson has left the session. That's probably an issue with connection. So not to worry, but E.D. Walker already on about 3% ERS after only 2.5 laps around this track. And that flashing red light is going to be like an invitation to Son of Rome later on in this race to try and get this this move done nice and early. Whilst the grid's spread out a little bit, Bombs has managed to get past English Dave. He might be able to get past the AI car of Patterson really easily. Yes, he does. And Patterson and McLaren hopes of gaining this Constructors' Championship are falling. We've got a yellow flag further round. Snoop's managed to crash onto his way into the pits. Fortunately, no damage. What we're going to go do, we can have a look back to the start of this race and see if we can see what happened with E. Walker as they head down towards the first hairpin. There was definitely a collision between someone. It'll be on the left-hand side of your screen. Can we see the Red Bull? Looks like contact between one of the McLarens and himself. And that Red Bull ends up the wrong way around. Fruity Sniffles got past English Dave as well. Patterson is just gaining position. Oh, contact there between Fruity Sniffle and English Dave, I believe that was. As English Dave went through Patterson's AI car, clipped the back of Fruity Sniffle. The AlphaTauri was lucky to be facing the right way after that incident. Patterson is still falling down. The AI just not set high enough for what he needs it to be right now. He needs to get back in as quick as he can. As we saw on the time machine on the left, Smithy getting past Wanzhou up into the last of the points positions. But Patterson, McLaren's hopes are really failing here. For every car that's passed, that's another position that he drops. And Ferrari aren't necessarily in the best position here to make a championship push, but it is very, very close. 7 points in it as things stand. English Dave is still trying to chase Fruity Sniffle down, trying to recover that position that he lost out earlier. Will he be able to get that before race ends? Patterson has managed to rejoin the session then. We'll wait and see when his car becomes no longer AR. You'll notice it will go from the semi-translucent that it is at the moment to back to solid, and that'll be the key indicator of when he's back in the car. You've almost got to time getting back in the car right sometimes. You don't want to try and take over as it heads into a braking zone. Now he's in the lobby, and there we go. That car has gone back to solid. He's back in it, and unfortunately, he's straight under pressure by the Alpine of Son of Rome here down the back straight, and it's gone from bad to worse for Patterson. As the Alpine of Son of Rome gets past him, and Gramtier brakes a little bit late. He got a little bit fortunate not to have a double overtake there. Gramtier gets himself a penalty as he cut the corner, but Patterson will try and make the move immediately back to the second helping of DRS on this course, and he's going to be on the inside there of Son of Rome, so actually a little bit of a fortunate recovery for him. Try to see who's still close on the track. Hoodie Pete and Wanzhou battling out a little bit back here, as Smithy gets Hoodie Pete to get past Smithy as well. Smithy going a little bit wide. Great overtake there by the Alpine on the Ferrari. English Dave gets himself a time penalty. We'll go back and have a look at that overtake once again. Live action as always in the top right hand side of your screens. And just wait for that jump in the bottom left as we hop down towards Smithy. There we go, watching Hoodie Pete. Smithy goes wide, round the inside. It goes Hoodie Pete. Thank you, says the Alpine. Close on the track. Gramtier's not far off Son of Rome at all. We'll pull the battle forecast up here then. As they head down, starting lap number 6. The Alfa Romeo really trying to charge down Son of Rome here for P8. Not necessarily the high point scoring, but a point added nonetheless as they head round one of the first hairpins on this track. I call the second hairpin the spoon curve. It's probably a more accurate description of what it is, but DRS is enabled here for Gramtier. Will he be able to get a move done? The Alpine moves left. The Gramtier is going to go right and doesn't need a second invitation. Fantastic move there by Gramtier and quite an easy position gained for the AlphaTauri. We're back aboard with E. Walker gliding effortlessly here past Fruity Sniffle with the DRS assistance. He's used all of his ERS though. There's rear lights still flashing, as is Fruity Sniffles, may I also mention. So the Red Bull cousin, shall I say, Both not great on using their ERS effectively. And now the charge does start towards Bomser in the Aston Martin, and Walker is just gaining time like anything. This is the battle for P3, and the Red Bull does want that position back rather quickly. Will he be able to get it down the start-finish straight? He sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:27.5. And let's see what he can do through Sector 1 here. Will the downforce that he has be any match for Bomser in front? And he's actually making a lot of time through the corners. Into the first hairpin he goes. Will he try a dive down the inside? Not on this occasion. He's going to wait for DRS, and I think this might be quite an easy pass for the Red Bull. DRS open. Wanjo getting past Smithy further down on your screens. He's not going to have any ERS to get the move done. But past he goes down the inside quite effortlessly. Oh, pushes Bomser a little bit wide. It's not going to be as easy as he thought. Bomser tries to hold on the inside, but gets a little bit squeezed out of room. And that's going to be unfortunate for the Aston Martin driver. English Dave gets himself another 3-second penalty here. So he's already accumulated 6 seconds of penalties. Trying to see what's going on further back. Hoodie Pete's, I'm trying to see, it was Son of Rome trying to attack him. Grabs it. E. Walker's, though, has had a spin. All that good work he put in earlier on in the race has come down to nothing. He finds himself back down into P7 and almost immediately will be challenged by Gramtier, I feel. There we go, as we just see him in the ending shot there. And E. Walker, rather, has to try and regain all of those positions. He was up in P3 at one point, and he's all the way down back into P7. Trying to see who's close. Hoodie Pete is close to his teammate here as they round the final few corners. Yellow flags are out. It's Apex Joe, I believe, having a little bit of spin. Yes, it is. But Hoodie Pete goes a little bit wide out that final corner. A little bit of weaving by both Alpines here. Will Hoodie Pete... Oh, he's actually got past his teammate. My bad. That's note to self. Don't jump away from the action. This is a 100% race. It's the final race of the season for the F05 Div 2 Championship. The drivers opted for a 100% race to finish off the season. My thoughts exactly. But it's what our drivers voted for. They wanted to do a 100% race to round off the season. And what a cracking season it has been so far. As we watch on board with Patterson trying to make a challenge on English Dave. I know they're long-time friends here. Will they be able to make a move? DRS enabled for the McLaren as they head down into the spoon curve. Not much braking going on, just a couple of downshifts here for the McLaren as he still chases that Haas round through Sector 3 now. We're into the more technical part of the circuit, into the worst corner, in my opinion, in this track. The off-camber double left-hander here. So easy to throw your car into either the wall or into a spin. And the McLaren slowly gaining time on the Haas in front of him. I think it's more of a straight line speed setup is this McLaren, and we might see that on some of the straights here as we start lap 9 of 58. I'm hoping Owen gets in here soon to give my voice a little bit of a rest. But Son of Rome heads into the pits. Let's have a quick look as well at how tyres are doing. So currently on 8 lap old mediums, 13 or 14% for the McLaren. Let's see what it is for the car in front. So English Dave's on about 15-16% then. So suffering a little bit more than Patterson's, but managing to hold off the charge from the McLaren nonetheless. Back on board with Hoodie Pete. He's now chasing Gramtier down. DRS a little bit of a wiggle there, trying to slow his car down into the chicane. I reckon he'll be able to get the Alfa Romeo here down the second DRS zone. That rear wing wide open once again on the Alpine. Where's he going to go? He's going to go round the outside, take the long route here. Beautiful helicopter shot into the spoon curve for the Alpine. And a great overtake there by Hoodie Pete. Can he hold it though as they head into Sector 3? Yes, he can. Great move there by the Alpine. Gramtier didn't really stand a chance with that DRS assistance. And that's an extra couple of points there for Hoodie P. Patterson, though, still on the charge to get on board to try and catch the Haas, and hasn't seemed to have made much progress in the last lap. Gramtier, though, still chasing that Alpine, still quite close behind. And I wonder if we'll see a re-overtake here of Gramter trying to get that position back. Obviously, no DRS down the start-finish straight, which is quite unusual for an F1 circuit. But it's got to keep the car planted through turns 2 and 3 here as they run down towards turn 4, the first hairpin on this track. Will he go for a dive down the inside? He looks for it, looked for it again, and it just backed out of the move there. It's not quite sure what's going through his head. Maybe he decided that it wasn't worth the risk. He's going to wait for the DRS zone. Here we go. This should be a fairly easy overtake. He's opting again for the outside. Into the chicane. He's going to try and get the better turn in. Really nice overtake there by Gramter. Oh, maybe not as simple as it seems as Hoodie Pete tries to get a better drive. He's going to get the DRS as they cross across this line. Round the outside once again goes Hoodie Pete. Round the outside on Gramter. Gets the move way before the braking zone even exists. And this time around, it could be a little bit more secure for the Alpine driver. Patterson, though, has made up some time on English Dave. As English Dave made up some time on, on Fruity Sniffle. English Dave, we saw going wide there. That's going to allow Patterson to slot in nicely. And E. Walker is immediately on English Dave's tail here. As Patterson's got about a second away already. English Dave immediately under pressure again from the Red Bull that is now right behind it. I think this could be a fairly easy overtake for E. Walker after that earlier spin. He was wanting to recover, trying to get back rather quickly. He might be able to get the move done rather nice and simply round in the DRS zone. He's just got to be patient until then. That's going to be the key thing here for him. I think as things stand, English Dave will not have DRS use down this first straight. He's definitely not going to have it now. Look at the times. He's over a second to Patterson. So it's going to be a bit of a sitting duck here for Walker. Walker's saved up some ERS. And I reckon it'll be a fairly easy overtake for the Red Bull. Here we go then. Left or right? What's he going to choose? He waits to the last minute. Chooses to the right. English Dave tries to force him out wide. That's not giving us a great camera angle as they head into the chicane. Now English Dave a little bit helpless through the inside. Can he get a better drive out of the chicane though? He will have the DRS this time around, but so does E. Walker as they head down the second DRS zone here in the Jasper Arena circuit. And English Dave, unless he goes for a bit of a dive, is not going to be able to get that move done. And yeah, not on this occasion for English Dave. Good defence by the Red Bull, but Patterson is under pressure from Fruity Sniffle off that earlier overtake. He got past the AlphaTauri quite easily, and now the AlphaTauri is really trying to stick with the McLaren, but it doesn't look like he's got that much of a downforce compared to the McLaren. The McLaren is absolutely flying through the corners. Both the Red Bull cousins with their rear lights flashing, less than 10% ERS available to them, and this could be an interesting battle here for P5 and P6 if English Dave manages to get himself back involved. Will E. Walker go for a dive into turn 1? No, he doesn't, not on this occasion. Fruity Sniffle, though, runs wide. E. Walker gets the move done anyway. That's a poor mistake from Fruity Sniffle. He's gone wide in turn 1. It's completely left him defenceless to the Red Bull. And the Red Bull slides through quite nicely. But English Dave now will try and make a move on the AlphaTauri. These two cars look very similar, especially from a distance. Let's see what he can muster up down at the CRS straight. Both of them lacking much ERS as we only hit lap 12 here in this race. Looks like Sniffle's going to go down the inside of E. Walker. E. Walker's going to probably try a bit of a switchback here. He cuts in quite handily, but leaves himself quite shallow on the exit. And it's not going to be the pull away that he wants, but ERS being deployed. DRS obviously wide open now. And Fruity Sniffle once again is a bit of a standing or sitting duck for you as they head down into the spoon curve here. Hoodie Pete making another overtake round the same DRS zone rather. He quite likes that part of the track by the look of it. He likes to get past in the first bit and then get the re-overtake during that second bit. Wanzhou goes down the inside of Spoon. Can he hold this on Smithy though? I don't think he's going to be able to hold it. Smithy got a great bit of traction out. We got a Red Bull round. This is E. Walker again. Really not having a good time with traction. I wonder if there's a bit of a setup issue for him here, or if that was just a little bit of eagerness on the power. Do we see any tyre deg? No, we don't. We don't see any wing damage either. But into the pits regardless goes the Red Bull as we hop up with the other Red Bull, Wanzhou. He is still charging down Smithy here in the battle for P10, the battle for final points. And let's see what this does entail. Wanzhou not sharing his data with us, so he doesn't have his name on the screen, unfortunately. Let's see what he can muster up as they head round. Oh, a little bit of twist and turn from the both of them. It's going to be a dive by Jean here into the hairpin. Gets the move done. A little bit of forceful behaviour there by the Red Bull to push the Ferrari out wide. It was clean racing, and he manages to get the DRS as well. And that's a great move. But Smithy will have the DRS on the second time of asking as they exit the chicane. Dave in the chat saying, easy to get your tyre temps wrong around here. You are absolutely correct. Tyre temps on this game seem to have a massive overhaul from last year. And they seem to cause a lot more issues than I remember having in last game. Smithy has the DRS. He's going to go around the outside and gets again the move done before the braking zone. It looks like Wanzhou wasn't going to make that position let go easily. Try to keep down the inside, brakes late, but it's not going to work out this time for the Red Bull. And he's going to have to settle for P10 for now. We're going to hop right back on board with Fruity Sniffle. English Days managed to get past him. Finds himself currently in P6. And we'll be looking to try and gain some on that. Let's have a look at penalties real quick. And as we said earlier, English Dave with 6 seconds of penalties. Gramtier with 3. And Snoop getting 3 as well, who's currently sat down in P15. So not ideal for the AlphaTauri driver there then. But the other AlphaTauri is the one we're currently interested in. Fruity Sniffle will have DRS this time around as they head down the first DRS zone here in Abu Dhabi. Will he be able to make a move earlier, or is he going to have to be a little bit patient, try and play the waiting game and get the move done at the second time of asking? Gets a good pull away from the chicane. The DRS will reopen for him as they head down now towards Spoon. Both ERS lights flashing. Once again, the camera crew giving us a fantastic helicopter shot as they head down towards that turn. It's a beautiful bit of camera work. Going to hop back as Smithy and Wanzhou once again battling it out in the DRS zone. Smithy getting the move done once again into Spoon, and these two really going at it. This is actually going to hamper Ferrari's chances at securing that Constructors' Championship win, as they need to beat the McLarens. That's effectively what they need to do. But those McLarens looking really secure in P2 and P4 at the moment. And Hoodie P just losing out to Gramtier there a little bit. He was at 3/10 at one point, dropping back almost to about 7.5 now. I wonder if Gramtier's found a little bit of pace. And those tyres are up to working temperature for him. Just keeping an eye on what's close around. English Dave's now not far off Patterson at all, as they're heading through the first chicane here. E.D. Walker managing to set the fast lap of the race, marginally quicker than his previous attempt. He finds himself currently in P11, just behind his teammate with about 5 seconds gap. He did pit earlier after a spin, so a fresh set of mediums for him. And I wonder if he's going to go for the old 2-stop here, and I think that's absolutely what he's going to do. We'll stick on board with English Dave, though. He's about 6/10 away from Patterson in front of him. That gap will continue to close as the DRS becomes more and more used here by the Haas. Patterson will be constantly looking in his rearview mirror. Just to give you a reference, this is what he will see when he looks at his rear view. That Haas getting ever closer to his rear gearbox, and that's not what he wants to see, especially heading through Sector 3. That Haas just in the light shines beautifully. You just catch it out the corner of your eye. And I wonder if we'll see some pit stops happening fairly shortly. Let's have a quick check on how tyres are doing. We're on about the 25% mark, so around the 30 is when these tyres will start to drop off. We're expecting a one-stop strategy here for most of our drivers. We're expecting a medium to hard strategy. And Gramtier getting past Fruity Sniffle. Fruity Sniffle's into the pits. Here we go then. First of the proper pit stops, not caused by spins or accidents. And Fruity Sniffle there committing to the 2-stop. Smithy and Wanzhou both in as well. Let's see what these two go for. So it's definite 2-stop for Fruity Sniffle in the AlphaTauri. What are these two going on to? It's softs again for Wanzhou. Really sticking with the soft tyres. And Smithy also going on to a fresh set medium. So a lot of drivers here committing to the 2-stop, which is not one we were expecting to see. But maybe tyre deg is causing a bit of issue. Let's check on the weather real quick. Track temperature 29 degrees, so not far off what they're expecting it to be. And maybe it's just a little bit of strategy between the two of them, or between some teams here. English Dave, though, still on the back of Patterson, excuse me. About 6.5 tenths off the McLaren in front. Doesn't look eager to make a move at the moment, but he has to remember that he's got Grant here not far. That's a lapped car behind him. It looks like another car behind him, but I believe that is Snoop just behind him, one of the lapped cars. Keep an eye on this battle. Everything fairly spread out, as you can see by the track map at the bottom right hand of your screens. About 30, 40 laps to go. Aha, we are joined in at the commentary booth by Owen. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to the race.
You won't be happy to quickly invite me.
I definitely could drop you an invite. I don't think I've got you added, anyway. This could be awkward.
I'm guessing you think it's just TK.
No, are you on PC? Or are you on PlayStation?
PC.
PC. I think I don't know what my EA name is. Oh god. I think it's just the Mousemeister. I believe that is my.
I'm guessing all one word.
Yeah. Has anything popped up for you?
Yes.
Lovely.
Right, you should have that.
Yep, there we go. Wonder Athlete 95. Friend request received. I'll give him an invite. Are you appearing online?
Should be.
Are you XD Blue Boy?
No, it should show as
No.
probably LLYK. Owen. Or Wonder Athlete.
Hold on, let me just back out of that and let it load for a second. Apologise for this, folks. Let's just trying to get Owen here into the session. Oh, there we go. There we go. Game invite sent for Owen. As Z's managing to get back a few positions. I believe he's had an earlier spin by the look of it. Finds himself down in P3. So he has pit indeed. He's on the hard tyres. So that is why Z's found himself down into P3, just overtaking his teammate and Patterson at the same time. I think his speed's a little bit unmatched at the moment. Patterson, though, is doing well to defend off English Dave. English Dave still with those penalties, unfortunately. But they'll be a bit of an issue in about 30 laps' time. Well, 40 laps' time, rather. When that comes to call, really. Snoop gets himself another 3-second penalty here then for track limits. So that brings his total up to 6, I believe. And with him 46 seconds behind the 14th place driver at the moment, I believe he'll need a safety car or a bit of a miracle to bring him back into this race. But Bomza and El Pato trying to make this this overcut work on Z, who went for the early pit stop and finds himself on a nice fresh set of hards. He's got to wait for them to warm up, of course, but this could be interesting. Have we got an Owen in the session? Okay.
Yeah, I've got in session.
Lovely job. So obviously you've been watching bits of the stream. What's your take on the race so far?
Honestly, I think I stopped watching after about lap 3. I didn't watch the start and then came off.
That's fair. I don't blame you.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Walker for that spin at turn 5.
Yeah, he got unlucky there. I think it was a bit of contact with the McLaren. We didn't really see it. It was kind of covered by the race results. But anyway, we'll look on board. Speaking of E-Walker, let's hop on board with E-Walker. He's currently trying to catch up to Hoodie Pete, who finds himself in P7. Gramtier gets himself a 3-second penalty. That'll be for track limits violations. But this battle between Hoodie Pete and E-Walker getting rather close, as the Rebel, as we know, is quite impatient. Will he go for a dive into the final corner? He tries to go for a bit of a dive, gets a move done eventually. And will he try and get a double overtake here? Yes, he does. That's also the slow-moving car of Snoop that keeps catching me out a few times.
As well as you've been watching that, Dave's been gaining on Patterson. He went a little bit wide out of turn 2, but it depends on the exit that he gets down out the hairpin, opens up the DRS. He's not deploying the battery though; he's just staying behind, trying to gain on his teammate who did box a couple laps ago onto a fresh set of hard tyres. Maybe trying to look.
Yeah, I think. Oh, Smithy's retired. Oh gosh, in the pits as well. That's interesting. Not quite sure what happened there. Let's see if we can... have we got a voice chat with Smithy? And I don't think we do. That's unfortunate. I'm going to tag him and see what happened. There's still a yellow flag sector 1 being thrown, but we will stay on board. Oh, there we go. Z's managed to get past Bomber.
No,
Bombers into the pits.
What tyre is he going to go on to? As El Pato in the lead, McLaren also boxes for a fresh set of medium tyres. Let's see what the Aston goes on to. It looks like it is the white wall hard tyre. Maybe trying to go to the end of the race, maybe. If it's going to be...
El Pato's gone on to the mediums, so a double stop being forced for the McLaren here.
In the meantime, I think Ghost Reaper actually managed to get past Son of Romeo into the final sector, which has also caused the Red Bull of Joanjo to gain on the Alpine, and maybe he might have a look into turn 1. If not, he will definitely have a look down the main straight, down the back straight, I should say. Sorry, into turn 6.
Yeah, he's lining one up. Both Red Bulls here seem to be a little bit impatient, especially E-Walker, and they just seem to be a little bit over-eager with some of their moves. If we look back to the likes of English Dave, who have been saving some moves up for laps at a time, and these guys really trying to make it push. But Wanzhou kind of really on the double soft strategy at the moment. So interesting call there by the Red Bulls to do that strategy.
And actually, Walker has got past one of the McLaren's. Gamtree has crashed out of turn 9, and we've got a safety car.
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch that on
here on lap 21.
Yeah, we just saw his car kind of strewn at the side of the track. This could really help anyone that's not really pit yet, and those who have just pitted might be a little bit under the thumb.
As Dave, Patterson and Walker have all come into the pits.
Yeah, we're going to pull up all the tyre data now. Let's see what people go on to. And yeah, definitely a key time to get onto some hards till the end, I reckon.
Dave's gone mediums, Patterson's gone mediums, Walker's gone hard.
A lot of people going for the double pits, so maybe it's going to be a medium soft sort of strategy here for a lot of our drivers.
AlphaTauri, Fruity, Sniffle onto the softs, mediums. And also, so both AlphaTauris opting for the soft tyres with about halfway through this race. The Son of Romeo gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So
yeah, it's unfortunate for Son of Rome. He it's a penalty that will really come back and bite you in the rear. Kind of that 5 seconds. It seemed kind of unnecessary at the time, but a 5-second gap is not an easy one to pull, especially with less than 30 laps remaining. Gramtier in the Discord chat expressing his dismay at his early retirement. You know what we could do? We can go chat to some McLaren drivers if you're up for it.
Sure, let's go.
Let's go hop
I thought, nah.
Right, gents, how we doing? Hope you're doing well. I've come to speak to both McLarens. Let's see what your thinking is on strategy here.
Strategy now. So we both just leap pitted just before the safety car for some new mediums, which was the part of the strategy, and then I have just pitted under safety car for a new set of mediums. Obviously, we're in P2.
Was the strategy? Oh, sorry.
No, it was in P2. Now we're in P2 and 5 together, so we're doing well, yeah.
Yeah, you just obviously had one of the Ferraris, your Constructors' Championship rivals, DNF, so maybe a little bit of joy over that.
Was it a DNF or was it a retire in the pits?
Sorry, retirement for Smithy, DNF for Gramter.
Oh, right, okay.
What happened with Smithy? Did he crash or...?
Nope, no, it was a retirement in the pits.
Wow. Okay.
The damage?
Must have had.
No, I not that I noticed.
Okay.
So, have you got any stats for me to DK about finishing in the construction's number 1 point?
Well, as things stand, you win because Ghost Reaper's in 10th.
Yeah.
So you need to win, I believe, by 7 points. We can go and have a quick look at the standings. For the teams.
We're 7 points ahead, I believe.
You're 7 points ahead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just need to finish ahead of him.
Yeah.
One of you do.
One. Cool.
Yeah.
It is.
So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting finish.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Got any questions for our Dave?
We'll come back later.
Oh, no problem.
Don't worry.
You can have your shot later.
Catch you in a bit. Thanks, gents.
Bye, take care.
Well, there we go then. Lovely to always speak to the McLaren guys. I feel like I leave Dave out a little bit. When I did this before, I just spoke to the McLaren lot. We will speak to Dave later on in the stream. I'm sure there'll be another safety car to be able to get the Haas reaction from. But yeah, like we said, I think the McLarens have got this constructors pretty wrapped up now. Ghost Reaper would have to pull off an absolutely spectacular drive here to secure it. Trying to think if he manages to get first. Well, put it this way: if Ghost Reaper wins this race, it would have to be to tie. It would be second place for McLaren and a McLaren DNF. That's what we're looking at. So I'd say it's still all to play for.
I mean, it is. We've still got.
It is. There's a lot of laps to go. I haven't done the maths on this, so we're just going to kind of figure out 7 points.
But anyway,
as the
safety car comes into the pit lane, then the Haas has gone pretty late on down the main straight. Gets a good start compared to the McLaren of El Pato. Let's see what carnage is going to unfold as we've got yellow flags somewhere. Was that just because I think that's just because the safety car came in to what happens with the game. But El Pato didn't really get a good restart compared to the Haas. Olympics, and actually Patterson is getting a little bit under attack by Hoodie P. He's going to go around the outside at turn 5. Round the outside he goes, up into P6. Hoodie P bouncing back after not the best of starts. And then also finishing in a very close fought P2 last week in Brazil. As it looks like Apex Joe is going to have a look up the inside of Ghost Reaper as they're going to go side by side, but the Haas of Zinix leads by over a second now, although that gap has now gone below a second. At the end of towards the end of the first lap of the safety car restart, and yeah, it's now just all guns blazing, maybe to whenever the drivers decide to make another pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely correct. I wonder if there's a little bit of tactics going on here with Patterson dropping back. I wonder, because Patterson's a quick driver on his day, and there's no way he drops 3 positions off the start like that. Is he dropping back here to try and cover off Ghost Reaper and defend for the next 30 laps? Are we seeing that here?
Oh, it's a Haas. No, not a Haas, an Alpine. I beg your pardon. Of Summer Romeo, who has span out the penultimate corner. He's dropped back a little bit.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Alpine. What Alpine's doing well. We mentioned earlier Hoodie Pete's got himself up into P6, and then unfortunately Son of Rome not having the best of times here in Abu Dhabi. He seems to have a couple of spins, which has been unfortunate.
Yeah, it's
Ghost Reaper, though, going down the inside of Patterson and gets that move done. Owen's lagged out of the session. So maybe his internet's gone. That's what's happened. He's left the session. He's still in the voice call with me, but he is not speaking. Fruity Sniffle's got himself up into P6 as well, as he goes round the outside of Hoodie Pete. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the two drivers, but it is a purple Sector 2 for Fruity Sniffle. Hoodie Pete's dropped down back into P7. And now chasing down English Dave is the Alpha Tauri. Do we have an Elwin back?
Yep. Apparently my internet died, but it's back now.
I was about to say, yeah, because you lagged out of the game, so I'll get you back in. Because you started to say something and just disappeared for a little bit.
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, we're back on board with Fruity Sniffle. English Dave and Bomzer all fairly close together here in this battle for P4. E Walker is making up moves like there's no tomorrow, and he's already about 3/10 off Pato here for the second step of the podium. English Dave gets past Bomzer down into the hairpin, and that's a great little overtake for the Haas driver. Snoop gets himself another penalty. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Snoop retiring here. He's a minute and a half behind. We said he needed a miracle to try and save his race, but I don't think even a miracle is going to save him on this occasion. He won't be able to unlap himself, of course, and he's over a lap behind. But E. Walker is still trying to make a charge down on El Pato, and this will be the crucial bit. El Pato knows he doesn't necessarily need the second place finish. He just has to finish ahead of the Ferrari, who's currently in P8 ahead of his teammate Patterson. Z's really dropped off. I wonder if he's had a bit of a kick out there. I don't know if you managed to see what happened, Owen, but Z's dropped back to about 4/10 to second place here.
Yep, I can see that. Sorry, my thing cut out again for some reason.
No worries. Yeah, these front three all within about a second now. 3/10 separate pretty much each of them. Will stay on board with E. Walker. This is still the battle for P2. Snoop has retired in the pits. There we go. I think we said it was only a matter of time for that.
Yeah. But let's see El Pato with the DRS. E. Walker's also going to get the DRS on the toe off the McLaren as they head down towards turn 6. El Pato moves to the left hand side to overtake the Haas driver, and he gets the job done way before the braking zone. Is the Red Bull going to have a look? No, he stays behind. But now El Pato is going to be vulnerable down this back straight in towards turn 9. He needs to get a good exit and deploy a bit of battery as the Haas and the Red Bull both have DRS. Let's see, the Red Bull going to move to the outside of the Haas. He's going to try and make a double overtake, going to go around the outside in towards turn 9. He gets pushed off the track by the McLaren, and the Haas gets squeezed out as well by the McLaren as he tries to have a look down the inside as El Pato stays in the lead, but E. Walker is right on his tail, but he's got the red light flash 20%, I think, in this game is how it works, as both the Haas and the Red Bull running a little bit wide. English Dave gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as they now head on to lap 28 of 58, 31 laps remaining, if my maths are correct.
Yep, I believe so.
From this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the season finale in F05, as head down in towards turn 5 yet again for the 28th time. As the Red Bull of E. Walkers may had a little bit of a look down the inside in towards turn 5. As now it's going to be the Red Bull's turn and the Haas' turn yet again to get the DRS down his back straight, and El Pato is going to have to try and defend for his life. Well, not his life, but as the Red Bull's going to go look to the left hand side, they're going to go side by side into the chicane, but E. Walker moves across in the braking zone to stop any moves around the outside from the McLaren driver on the fresher hard tyres out of the top three, and yeah, the Red Bull of E. Walker does take the lead for the time being, as Fruit Sniffle in the AlphaTauri is going to go around the outside of English Dave into turn 9. Just caught that.
Yeah, great move there by the AlphaTauri.
He's also Sniffle may. he may take it. It was purple in sector 2 as I saw, as I cut to him.
Yeah, let's see what he does as he comes around the final turn here. He's really low on ERS. He's absolutely burnt it through this lap. Will this be a new fastest lap? It's not. So that still is held by E. Walker, who's managed to get up into P1 and is already gaining a second gap to El Paso. Z having a pretty poor couple of laps. He finds himself back down into P3. Fruity Sniffle just behind them at P4. The Haas sandwich once again contains an AlphaTauri stuffing as English Dave still tries to get past Fruity Sniffle, dives down the inside, gets the move done down into the first hairpin. Great overtake there, really good move by English Dave. Saw an opportunity, took it, and gained the DRS with it as well.
Yeah, that was good. His teammate, oh, Dave had a little bit of a wiggle. That might have been my lag.
I think that might be you.
But as they now head down in towards turn 8, as the McLaren of El Palo decides to defend the side, trying to break the slipstream, but the Haas not going for the move, but Free Sniffle gets back past English Dave behind them. And yeah, Patterson, who didn't have a really good restart off that safety car, has looked to get back up the order.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a challenge ahead of him. Bear in mind, he's still got to make another pit stop, I believe, and go on to either the softs or the hards later on this race. He's got to hope something's happened in front of him. Ghost Reaper, who's Ferrari's Constructors' Championship hopes, rests on his shoulders. Currently finds himself in P7. He does have a penalty, of course, and that will hamper his chances somewhat. But up in P2 is El Pato. If he maintains this position, he will take home the victory for McLaren. Smithy leaves the session after an earlier retirement. But English Dave still chomping at the bit to try and get past Fruity Sniffle here. Will he go for a dive down into the hairpin? Not on this occasion, but Bombser is really close behind them as well. All three of them looking for an opportunity, and Ghost Reaper really not far from joining this party at all.
Yeah, exactly. As Dave is trying to break the slipstream from the Aston Martin because he knows he can't make a move on the AlphaTauri, as the Aston Martin's going to have a look around the outside into the chicane. He's going to have the inside line for the second part, but backs out, and Dave keeps his P5 for now.
Yeah, Bombser gets a really poor exit out of the chicane. Not as much traction as he will have wanted. This is where English Dave could try and make a dive. Down the inside he goes into the long left-hander. Does he have the traction to try and get on the power early? Even though he's on the inside, pushes Fruity Sniffle a little bit wide, but just has to back off for now. Tries to go down the inside into the start of the bridge and the hairpin, and just has to wait and be patient a little bit longer. There's rear red lights flashing, signifying they are under 10% ERS. And it has to wait another day.
Sniffle gets a 3-second for track limits. He's now on a total of 6, whereas Dave's on a total of 12 seconds of penalties.
Wow, we saw Dave was accumulating penalties earlier in this race. We didn't quite appreciate that he's up to 12 seconds, so maybe Dave is out of this podium battle as things stand. Bombser would be good to try and get a move done quite early on here in this first DRS zone. Bear in mind, the second DRS zone is normally the overtaking one if you can get a good traction out the chicane. Down the inside goes English Dave. He goes a little bit deep though. Fruity Sniffle gets a great bit of traction out of the hairpin. Regains the position. Who's going to get DRS out of them? It's going to be Dave on this occasion, but I don't think it's going to help him much. Bombs is going to go for a double overtake here. Down the inside, down into the long left-hander. Gets a double overtake on the Haas and the AlphaTauri. Great bit of driving as he's then sandwiched by both cars.
Yeah, it was a very
great overtake there.
It's a very optimistic move there from Bombser, as Dave tried to have a look up the inside as well into turn 6, but just didn't work. As now Dave now has 15 seconds worth of time penalties, as he just accumulated another penalty in the first part of the lap.
Whilst this battle's going up, we're going to go back and have a quick look at a replay of that overtake by Bombser. The live action is always in the top right hand of your screen, but we'll watch aboard with the Aston Martin as he does get past both these guys down in towards the chicane.
As whilst we're in that replay, Dave lost out to Ghost Reaper, went a little bit deep at the start of the hotel section. As I think McLaren will still win the constructors.
Yeah, as long as the McLaren finish in front, they will win.
Well, yeah. As is in P2, Ghost Reaper is in P6. He does have a 3-second penalty due to track limits. Patterson is P9, and he has caught. He's now within DRS of Patterson. He has joined that that train now, led by the AlphaTauri of Fruity Sniffle. As Dave has spun
we got a
Sniffle
spin.
out.
Fruity Sniffle.
And Sniffle's now actually got wing damage as well. Just call that. But Dave probably went around the outside and tried to just cut across him a little bit too much, or the AlphaTauri understood a little bit into him. But in the meantime, Patterson on that back straight in the back, in the background, did get past Ghost Reaper. As now both McLarens are ahead of Ferrari, as Hootie Pete goes over to 5th place as they head in towards turn 9, lap 38. Big Grand F05 League race, the season finale. As Dave goes sailing around the outside, I think Dave has pretty much given up now.
Yeah, outbroke himself a little bit there, and Hoodie Pete regains the position almost immediately. I think, like you said, Dave is. I think he's probably on a battle now to avoid disqualification. Is probably the better way of looking at it. But there's still a 4-way battle for P5 here. Everyone knows points still matter. The championship is pretty much summed up, but there's still some bragging rights in terms of 2nd and 3rd place. We'll go back and have a look at our standings a little bit later. But Ghost Reaper and Patterson still having a really good battle here between the two of them. They know that Ghost Reaper's got to get these moves done quickly whilst he's on the soft tyre. We'll see if he shares his data with us. See his tyres. Nope, he doesn't. That's really unfortunate. Z, though, does get past Pato up into P2 as he dove down into the hairpin on the harder tyres. And Pato finds himself down in P3.
As now up to P6 after he gets past English Dave. Dave is probably going to try and do the best that he can to try and hold up maybe the Ferrari so that he can't make any progress. Well, sides of it legally, of course. Try not to break any rules, although he does go... He's not in the slipstream of Patterson as they head in towards turn 9. And Patterson up to P6, Dave down to P7.
Yeah, really. Patterson doesn't really have much to race for here. He's out of the championship. He's just He's just racing for the constructors this time around, and basically his job here is to act as a blocker to not allow Ghost Reaper to get up to his teammate up in P3.
Yeah, exactly. As I think, Hootie Pete, Patterson, and Dave, their mediums are all on 12 lap old mediums yet, whereas Ghost Reaper is on 12 lap old softs. So the softs could be degrading, obviously a bit faster than the mediums. So Ghost Reaper could be struggling with a little bit of tyre wear at this stage of his stint.
Yeah, we did some testing yesterday on a 50% race. Those softs are going to be absolutely screaming out after 12 laps on 100%. They lasted about 6 or 7 laps on a 50% race, so times that by 2, you're looking at about 12 to 14 laps.
Yeah.
So they're going to be absolutely screaming in the next couple of laps. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Ferrari pit.
Dave's going to go up the inside of Patterson into turn 6, as I think they're just trying to play, give each other DRS, give them the boost to try and get away from Ghost Reaper. But he is within the DRS of both of them, as Dave's going to keep to the left hand side as Patterson's going to try to go around the outside in towards turn 9 and does manage to do so. It's just about those two trying to keep the Ferrari at bay as now they head through the slow speed traction zones where the Ferrari could struggle with his tyre wear, getting that traction that is so crucial on a fresh set of tyres, which probably he will start losing to get that on his coming up to 13 lap old soft tyres.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ghost Reaper pitting in the next couple of laps. Like we said, a lot of these guys committing to a 2-stop strategy here with that double medium play or a double soft play like we saw quite earlier on in the race. So yeah, I would be surprised if we see a pit stop probably soon. Maybe a set of hards till the end, 20 laps.
That's a battle for P2 now, as El Pato is going to move to the inside of the Haas driver, gets up into P2 before the braking zone, and the McLaren's gaining places, whereas the Ferrari is kept at bay on the...
It's a battle between the Haas and the McLarens in both senses of the world. You got Pato and Z up here for the battle for P2, and you have Patterson and English Dave in the battle for P6 further back. And Z gets that move back on the in the DRS zone.
As behind them, English Dove and Patterson yet again going side by side into turn 9, and I think Patterson's going to get the move done again. Around the outside into turn 9, and the Ferrari definitely struggling on his tyres now. We'll see if he is going to box this lap. If not, he will probably definitely box next lap, as the tyres will be on about 30 to 40%, I would estimate, round about this long into the stint.
Was that for the mediums?
No, for the softs.
Softs. I would look, but Ghost Reaper doesn't share his data with us. So we can't see stuff. Like if he had his data turned on, then it would tell us exactly what he's on. Unfortunately, he doesn't share that data, so we don't have the privilege of that. A lot of other drivers do, and it's really nice because we can see so much about them.
How much they're pushing,
Ghost Reaper's not one of them.
or trying to look after the tyres.
I mean, you can see everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those unfortunate things that some drivers still haven't turned it on.
I think for next season, I might, if I do commentate, I will definitely try get SimHub working with the game.
Oh yeah, there's so many programs that I want to look into on the off season.
Yeah.
So it'll be one of those. There's some cool things coming for F05 in the new year. So that'd be quite cool.
As Dave gets back past Patterson for the 3rd consecutive lap in a row, the Son of Romeo gets another 3-second time penalty. He is up to 6 seconds, so that's his 2nd one as Son of Romeo retires on the track, and that's a bit.
Final corner. That is a virtual safety car.
That does deploy the VSC, which basically means that everybody has to stick to a delta. It kind of neutralizes the field, as Walker is going to box then. He gets a little bit throttle happy, I should say, on the pit entry, as the Haas and McLaren, Aston Martin. Hoodie is going to stay out though. Both McLarens are double stacking. I should say.
English Dave fakes a pit there.
As Patterson slowing down a little bit in the pit lane to try and make the double stack work.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice double stack actually.
Yeah. As he now heads into the box, gets a little bit held by his pit crew not getting out of the way in time. As they're going on to with soft tyres. El Pato actually went on the hard tyres, surprisingly, as Joe has left the session. He is still in the race, so that might be internet issues for the Red Bull driver, for the 2nd Red Bull.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. We just had a quick replay on the stream of.
It's been upgraded. The virtual safety car's been upgraded to a safety car. I didn't notice that.
It has indeed. No, Hoodie Pete does then regain or take the lead here of this Grand Prix. We can have a quick. Oh, I can have a quick look anyway of if everyone has pitted.
Everybody bar Hoodie Pete, Dave, and Joanne Joe. And Apex Joe have not pitted. Everybody else has. With the Red Bull of Walker on the softs, along with Ghost Reaper and Patterson in the Ferrari and the McLaren respectively. And also Fruit Sniffle as well in the AlphaTauri. Medium runners, Bonza in the Aston and Zynapix in the Haas.
I call him a Z.
Okay.
I call him a Z.
Z in the Haas also went for the medium tyres, with El Pato in the second McLaren, I should say, opting for the hard tyres. So maybe going to the end and wanting to have good tyre wear, not planning on making another pit stop for the McLaren driver. Whether it was his teammate Patterson may have to pit again, as now Dave.
Oh, where's Dave?
And back onto the live track as the AI of John Ju in the Red Bull comes into the pits. But yeah, lap 38 of 58. It'll be probably the safety car will probably come in next this lap. If not, it'll definitely come in next lap.
Just going to add something over the top of the stream here. This will be the tyres that everyone has used so far. So excuse me, just kind of cutting it at the moment.
No worries.
Just getting it nice and neat for the stream. effectively, this is what all our drivers have used in terms of tyres. There we go. That is where they've pitted, and what tyres they're currently on, and how many laps they're on as well.
Oh, there's a bit of a pile up on the back straight as Fruit Sniffer gets a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Joanjo, I think.
Yeah, a bit of a crash there. So at the moment, people who haven't hit are Hoodie Pete, English Dave. They both need to pit.
Yeah, they've been on their mediums for 17 laps. Apex Joe has been on his hard for 8 laps.
What is Pato and Bombs are doing? They're rather behind the pack, and I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I think, well, there is normally a bug where if the safety car comes in, they get limited by the game where they can't actually put the throttle down. But
yeah, but that wouldn't be.
The safety car should come into the pits this lap, and it is. Do you want to take this the safety car restart this time?
I'll let you take it. You did it so well last time.
Okay then.
I'll let you take it.
Hoodie Pete now becomes the temporary safety car, he's gonna back up the field as much as he possibly can. He controls the pace until the safety car peels into the pit lane, which it has done. And now Hoodie Pete is gonna maybe go out the final corner, and he has gone, but he didn't really get a good start compared to. He didn't really drop English Dave probably as much as he liked as they head through turn 1, but English Dave didn't really get a good exit out of turn 1. As now they head down in towards turn 5. As the Red Bull of Walker is going to have a look maybe around the outside of Dave, and so is Bomber on El Pato, maybe not quite. As the Red Bull and the Haas make contact at the apex of turn 5. The Red Bull is off the track, and Hoodie Pete has got a second gap nearly as the Haas and the Red Bull have come together, and the Haas of English Dave, I think, has gone off, and we've got a safety car.
Yeah. That it's not a DNF for Dave, but definitely there's some wing missing. We can have a quick look. Yeah, complete front wing loss there for the Haas driver, as you can see on stream.
I think that may have been a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch what happened. I was watching other parts of the stream.
As Walker also has no wing.
No front wing.
He will be pitting. So Hoodie Pete still leads the pack after about half a lap of green flag running before our, well, from what I've witnessed, our third safety car got deployed.
Yeah.
As now, is Hoodie Pete got a box? No.
I think he's got to.
No, he stays out.
No.
Hoodie Pete stays out.
Will Z pit?
Z doesn't pit. Walker's pits due to damage, but misses the pit entry.
Yeah.
Has to go off the fan. Patterson gets a 3-second time penalty.
Patterson is the pit as well.
Yeah, Patterson.
So here we go. This is onto the softs for a couple of laps. What's he getting on to now?
He could go on to the mediums, go to the end. There is
mediums,
17 laps to go. He's going to set us off.
New set of softs.
Fresh set.
Has he got damage that they didn't fix, maybe? No? Okay.
No, doesn't look like he's got any damage from the visual. Dave, of course, changing his front wing. So did Walker. As now all the pack has been compressed, pretty much. Being brought back together as Hoodie Pete.
It's really interesting. Sorry, keep going.
As Hoodie Pete did manage to get a 3-second gap, roughly, before the safety car got, before Bert Mylander had to get in his Aston Martin again. Although he probably didn't even leave the safety car before the FIA race control decided to deploy the safety car.
I'm fairly sure he has to sit in there for the entire race, doesn't he?
I'm sure he can get out a little bit during the race.
I don't think so, because they're fully strapped in. So
I don't
know.
We'll just say he does.
Yeah, let's just say he sits in there the entire time. I'm looking up on the screen. Fruity Sniffle has done 6 pit stops this race.
Yeah.
He's on 5 pit stops, 6 sets of tyres. He's gone from medium, medium, soft, hard, soft, soft.
But yeah, I'm looking at the position change. Hoodie Pete has gained the most. He's gained 9 positions. With Walker losing the most positions of 8 after he started from pole position.
Yeah, unfortunate for him.
Yeah. He's had an up and down race as Walker.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a yo-yo race. Z's managed to do well. He's held on to second place. I'm not sure whether that's by hook or by crook, but he's holding on there.
Yeah, and that will be a net P1 once Hoodie pits.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Although with I don't know how many laps. About 15, 16 laps to go. He could maybe try to get the mediums to the end, but they will be like puncture territory.
Thing is, he's done a double medium, so he's either got to go softs or hards for the next pit stop. So, I mean, I would have taken a mate. It's a hard call. That safety car came out about 2 laps too early for him.
Yeah.
Because right about now, you could probably go on the softs. Yeah, they'd be screaming towards the end.
Yeah, I do think he could have put box for a set of softs at the start of this safety car.
He does share his data with us. He's done 19 laps on the mediums, and his tyres are only on 22%.
Oh, okay. So maybe he can get to the end if he's taking care of his tyres. But then again,
he'd have to pit because he hasn't changed. Yeah,
there's bombs. He gets a penalty for collision with El Pato.
Yeah, not quite sure what happened there.
That might have been due to El Pato maybe slowing down a bit too aggressively, catching the Aston Martin by surprise, as safety car is going to be in this lap.
I hate this track. That was me. I'd had enough. Oh, Son of Rome. What? I don't know. Who's Chris Young? Maybe Son of Rome? I don't know. Anyway, Smithy's joined. Why has Smithy joined?
Put it down.
Sir, you've DNF'd about 23 laps ago. Right. Hoodie Pete, once again, is your effective safety car. Let's see if he can have a better restart. He was a little bit anxious on last restart. He didn't go till he was right past the corner. And he's got to be a little more decisive this time. He's got the other Haas behind him. English Dave 3 laps ago, and now he's got Z right behind him. Son of Rome is Chris Young. He said he's had enough. He hates this track. I don't blame you. I hate this track as well. But here we go then. Where's Hoodie Pete gonna launch? There's a little bit of contact between Z and Hoodie. Hoodie Pete doesn't go again till right after the corner. Catches a lot of drivers out. But Z has stuck right rhythm in to turn 1. Here they go. Late on the brakes is Z, almost pushing Hoodie Pete through, but that forced him to brake a little bit later after the corner as well. And Hoodie Pete has gained about half a second through that first corner alone. Through turns 2 and 3, now they go over the hill, down into the harsh braking zone of turn 4. Z's going to try and go around the outside, brakes really late. Round the outside, the Haas goes. Can he hold on? Gets pushed out a little bit wide by Hoodie Pete, but he's going to have the straight line speed as well as they head down this first straight, down the back straight indeed. And it's pretty much a straight drag race down towards turn 5 here. Hoodie Pete is just losing out round the outside. Goes Z and gets the move done. There's some moves going on further back as well as E tries to get some positions made up as well. He's managed to make up 4 positions off that restart, and rather well done to him.
Yeah, as in the background there, you did see Apex Joe actually went a little bit wide out of turn 1. As I think as Patterson gets past Joe and Joe in the second Red Bull. As now they head through turn 9. As I think actually the Aston Martin of Bonza pulled out to maybe have a look as Apex Joe gets a 3-second time penalty, and Patterson is actually through and into P7, gets a double overtake out of turn 9. Let's now head into the hotel section as Apex Joe cuts off Dave a little bit there. As in out.
Yeah, Apex Joe not looking too comfortable on those hards at all. They haven't warmed up for him. And yeah, just goes wide. Dave's going to get a nice easy position on him. And I think Joanne Joe's going to get a move done as well. And yes, he does. So yeah, the hard's really not fired up for the Williams.
Red Bull of Walker, I think, actually made a little bit of contact with El Pato. And I think he's ended up in the wall.
I don't know if he got damage there. He definitely ended up in the escape zone. Doesn't look like any front wing damage from where we're sitting. But he's definitely had a bit of confidence knocked there.
As Hoodie Pete is getting quite bombarded on his 21-lap old medium tyres, heading out in towards turn 6. Manages to keep P2 as he now heads down in towards turn 9. I think he's actually praying for another safety car at this point, otherwise he will drop towards the back of the field, because he does have to pit at least once more. As he goes a little bit wide in towards turn 9, he's going to maybe invite El Pato maybe to have a look at the inside, but he's able to get the traction down pretty nicely as now heading towards the hotel section. And the Haas of Z has already created a nearly 4-second gap to Hoodie in the Alpine. Struggling as English Dave gets another 3-second time penalty, taking his total up to 18 seconds.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. The normal barrier for disqualification is about the 21-second mark, so he's probably one off disqualification here. And we've got a lot of drivers moving around. Pato was actually quite unfortunate to not get the move done on Hoodie Pete earlier. Hoodie Pete went wide. Pato cut the corner a little bit too shallow, so wasn't able to get the power down as quick as he wanted. But Z has made an absolute blast of this restart. That count is up to about 5 seconds.
Around the outside of Hoodie Pete in towards turn 5, caught the Alpine driver napping. But now, is the Alpine going to get the DRS, or is the McLaren going to get the DRS? The Alpine gets the DRS, so maybe the McLaren made a mistake, overtaking the Alpine through to round turn 5, as they're now heading towards turn 6 into the chicane. Hoodie earlier on the brakes, not going into the back of him. Nosy.
Ghost Reaper did a double dive there for 6th and 7th position. He's now up into P5. That was a great bit of diving work for the Ferrari. He's really trying to make a challenge here for that constructors win in the solo now that Smithy is out of the equation.
Yeah, as now the Aston Martin gets the bad traction compared to Hoodie Pete, nearly managed to get it around the outside. As Ghost Reaper gets another 3-second time penalty, I think, adding to his tally. Yes, that is another 3-second.
Yeah,
he's now up,
penalties
up to 6 seconds. Dave is king of the. He is. He is the king of penalties. He has a grand total of 18. I think he gets 1 or 2 more, then he could get disqualified.
I think 1 more will be disqualification for him.
Walker sets the fastest lap of the race with a 125.166.
Oh, contact there! Oh, contact there between Fruity Sniffle and a couple of other drivers. He tried to go down the inside and made contact with a couple of others. We did just catch that.
Yeah, as now there's a little bit of a gap as Ghost Reaper looking to make more moves down the inside of turn 5. Bombser goes nice and deep to try and get a better exit of the Ferrari, as Hoodie Pete is now going to be under big pressure by the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. They're going to go side by side into turn 6. They're going to make it 3 wide as
Oh!
Ghost Reaper pushes Bombser into the wall, and we've got a safety car. The safety car, our 4th safety car of the race.
Wow.
Our 3rd in about 10 laps. As that has pretty much saved Hoodie Pete, as Edie Walker gets a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Fruity Sniffle.
I'll tell you what, he's got to pray that he can prove that was lag. We're going to go back and have a look at the replay of that. Live action focusing on Hoodie Pete. He's probably going to pit now under safety car. The replay is on your screen. Wait till we jump here to Ghost Reaper. Please don't say that didn't save. Oh, I don't think it... Oh, here we go. Yeah, just pushes him.
On my screen, it looked like lag, but I don't know.
I think it was a bit of a lag left. Clicks left a little bit. And, I mean, Bombaz is very, very lucky not to be DNF'd here.
Yeah, he did hit the wall with quite a thump.
And that was pretty much head-on as well.
Yeah, as Hoodie Pete does go into the pit lane, as he gets a 3-second time penalty in the process.
Oh, that's a glitch on this game.
That is a glitch, unfortunately. So he may get that removed by the stewards. So we'll just say that he is on 2 warnings, so he doesn't have a penalty. But he does go onto the soft tyres to round out this race, this full 100% race here in F05 for the season finale in Season 5 of the F05 eSports League Racing Championship, which is the finale that has probably now seen McLaren taking that Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship back to their factory, get back to the McLaren Technology Centre in Woking.
Big up the Woking.
It's
also ironically the football team I support because I grew up there.
But yeah, we've got about 13 laps left in this 100% distance race, and the stops everybody has at least made 2 stops, with a few people making 3, a couple of people making 4, and 2 people making 5 on 6 set of tyres.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all the numbers here. I think everyone has done their mandated pit stops. Z going. There's been a real mix of strategies here.
Yeah, exactly. But actually, I have a question for chat. Chat, who do you think is going to come out on top in this race? Is McLaren going to get the jump on the Haas of Z, or is he going to be able to hold on after the safety car restart?
I'm hoping the safety car's not going in this lap, because we could go have a chat with English Dave. I said I was going to, and I never did.
No, I think it is now for another lap.
It's staying out. Lovely. Let's go have a chat with English Dave if I can find the channel. Here we go. Right, 2 seconds. We'll go chat with one of the Haas drivers.
There he is.
Hey, gents. How we doing?
Good evening.
We're here. I thought I'd come speak to Dave. It's been a while since I spoke to your beautiful voice. How far are you from disqualification? Because we're predicting one more penalty in the pit box.
Well, I thought about getting another one just for good luck. But I'm
See,
having the worst race in my life.
Yeah, see, from experience in the commentary boxes, normally 21 seconds is enough for disqualification, which puts you at 1 3-second penalty away.
Oh, dear.
You've got to have a very clean 10 laps or so to survive this race as it stands.
Oh. Can't get a good luck running now, can I? Oh, dear.
Well, good luck to you. That's all I'm going to say, especially with how track limits are around this track.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Best of luck, mate. Best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, there we go. Speaking to English Dave, the one of the Haas drivers, who, as we were saying earlier, is probably very imminently going to get disqualified if he gets one more penalty.
Actually,
So
in the meantime, as the safety car's in this lap, XD Walker and Apex Joe had a little bit of a coming together, as now the Red Bull has got some front wing damage, and it's also backing up a little bit. With the first Red Bull of Junjo, who has managed to join back into the lobby after
Happy days.
he got disconnected a couple of safety cars ago. It's going to be pretty much an 11-lap sprint to the finish here from the Asmarine circuit. All 16 turns await the drivers. 11 times 16. Do the maths. For the amount of turns.
176.
176 turns face our drivers remaining in this race. As the Haas driver comes around the final corner to start lap 48 of 58, and he's gone. Both McLarens have pretty much sealed the Constructors' Championship if the race was to finish like this. But I'm sure the McLaren drivers want to get more, and Dave wants to get that last penalty before he gets disqualified, I'm sure. But
I'm going to watch it. We got a yellow flag already. That's Juan Joe's gone round at turn 2.
as the has started compared to El Pato on those 11-lap old hards, not quite getting them up to a decent enough temperature before the safety car restart. But Patterson on those soft tyres also struggling to get up to temperature, or just not getting any grip out the final corner through turn 1, as he has he briefly broke the 1 second DRS gap, as Walker with a broken front wing is going to go up the inside of Hoodie P in towards turn 9, and English Dave also gets past the AlphaTauri of Fruity Sniffle, goes a little bit wide, as so does the Red Bull.
That's a warning. That's a warning.
So does the Red Bull with his broken wing. Gets past Hoodie P into P6, but he's going to try and maybe get it to the end. There's Hoodie P on those fresh soft tyres, trying to chase down another good result after getting a pretty wonderful P2 after getting that by 13 thousandths of a second. If the Ferrari of Ghost Reaper did not have that 3-second time penalty that he picked up last time out in Brazil, as Bomzer gets past Hoodie Pete as well. So Hoodie Pete maybe struggling to get the tyres up temperature that, to the temperature that he kind of wants to start pushing in these remaining laps. As El Pato 7/10 behind Z as they now head down in towards turn 6. And actually, E Walker is going to have a look for a move. A Bomzer, actually, they are. As Bomzer actually overtook, I think, at the hairpin. They're just going side by side as Fruit Sniffle gets back past the Haas of English Dave. And Sniffles got a little bit too throttle happy out of turn 7. I've done that many a time before on this track. So it's a pretty regular thing to happen on this track. As
Very easy to do.
Tries to do a slight switch back, moves to the inside. Walker not quite having the downforce that he wants as he picked up that damage under the safety car with contact with Apex Joe, and actually who went a little bit deep into the chicane, and he comes back on the track, and I think he's been spun round. He's in the wall. He's now got no front wing, and we've got another safety car.
This is going to be a sprint till the end.
The 6th safety car, so I think we've now used up all of our safety car slots in the game as Sniffle again gets a 3-second penalty due to that bug. But yeah,
Sniffle's in the pits. Let me go back and have a little look at what happened to Walker. We managed to catch the first part of the spin. He just went wide out of the corner, and I wonder if he just got a little bit loose on the traction, tried to overcorrect. There was contact with Hoodie Pete, which you managed to see. So we'll show that again. If you just focus, he goes off the track, tries to rejoin, and there's contact between the Red Bull and the Alpine that forces him wide. There we go, comes back, hits the Alpine, and into the wall he goes.
Yeah, actually, should we go have a chat with Hoodie Pete?
Yeah, let's go have a chat with Hoodie Pete.
Hello, Hoodie. You were doing quite well until the previous safety car got deployed, and then you boxed as you had a choice. But could you have gone longer to maybe this safety car, or do you think the tyres were pretty much dead and you had to box?
Yeah, it would have been touch and go, very touch and go. I mean, this was sort of the lap that I was going to be pitting anyway for softs, but it was too much of a gamble, too much of a risk, I think, to wait to see whether there would be another safety car. But this one is, I think, played right into the thick of things.
Yeah. If I told you that English Dave up ahead has 18 seconds of penalties and you could get disqualified, you could get. You never know. If you get a good restart, you could maybe get P4, maybe challenge the McLarens for back-to-back podiums. Do you think a podium?
Yeah,
do you think a podium could be on? If you.
It's certainly on the cards. I mean, yeah, I can see the penalties for Dave. My 6 seconds shouldn't stand though, because that looked like a game glitch.
Yes, it was. We did see.
But yeah, we're having fun. And Creator Series has just raided us as well.
Oh, I love that.
Follow 141 TV on Twitch.
Legend.
Whoa, you had to get the self-promo in there.
Right, anyway. TK, do you have any questions for Hoodie Pete?
I don't. Just best of luck to you, mate, and hope it all goes well.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
No worries.
In a bit.
Cheers.
Well, there we go then. Speaking to Hoodie Pete, as he gets raided by Creator Series as well. Hopefully one day they'll come into us, or well, you never know when we start on Twitch in the new year. That could be the aim. We'll try and get them to raid us instead. Not we love Hoodie Pete. I don't know why. I know he's a Brit living in Italy. I was expecting him to sound more Italian, but maybe that's just me.
I had to get the cheeky plug in there as well.
Yeah, of course. With all the Creator Series people watching. If you don't already, go drop Hoodie Pete a follow on Twitch. He's an absolute legend. I believe he does open lobbies.
And subscribe to his YouTube channel. I subscribe to my YouTube channel.
And subscribe to I've tagged you in the description, so go subscribe to his YouTube channel and mine, because mine's in there.
And
as
also
well.
go follow my Twitch.
Yeah, mine's the same name, the Mousemeister.
I've got quite a bit of content planned in 2024, so yeah.
I've got at least 2 of these races a week on my channel. But yeah, I hit affiliate this month, so
Nice.
it's looking good.
I hit affiliate in July.
To be fair, like I started streaming like 2 months ago, and it's not like I'm doing it full time, but I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go for it.
I think I streamed like from June to like the start of August, like every day, and then when I got back from holiday in August, I streamed every day till like September.
Getting affiliate is hard, man. Like once you're there, it's okay because you never lose it, but getting it is hard.
It is. I think I was lucky because I started like streaming again like once. A streamer that I was in the chat, their community came to me, so I think I was quite fortunate. So I'm a little I'm a little less fortunate on YouTube.
YouTube hitting YouTube's algorithm
it's so hard.
is insane.
Yeah.
But well, if my maths is correct, we'll have 6 racing laps after this one.
And we won't get another safety car, so I hope
we will not get another safety car. Hopefully, no more DNFs. Penalties will really come into play here.
Disqualification still could be on the cards for Dave, but we don't know.
I'm still guessing it will happen.
But yeah, I don't know if we can get a poll in the chat. See if
can I do slash poll?
I wouldn't say it.
No.
I'm not going to say will Dave get disqualified for getting too many polls.
Chat, will Dave get disqualified?
Yes or no? As the safety car is in this lap. Do you want to take this one, or should I do it for the 4th time?
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Okay, you do it.
I've just realised that I've had it on top chat the entire time, so I probably missed some comments in the chat, but my apologies. I'm still learning YouTube live chat. Anyway, Z takes this restart, becomes the effective safety car here for the 5th and final time. 5 laps of racing stand ahead of us, 15 or so miles to race, and the Haas is in prime position to get the win here. El Paso right behind him will be chomping at the bit to try and get that move done early on, but we know how fast Z has been the last few races. Here we go then. Round the final 2 corners. The safety car peels off into the pit lane. Bert Mylander can go have a cup of tea at last. And El Paso will be pushing through. Here we go. Where's he going to go? He launches after the corner. El Paso's caught out ever so slightly. Patterson gets a fantastic run on his teammate, but backs off a little bit. And El Paso will assume his chase here on the Haas for the lead of this race. E. Walker gains a position on Fruity Sniffle. Ghost Reaper gains a position on Apex, as does E. Walker, so both gaining position on Apex Stowe. So does Fruity Sniffle then. Apex Stowe having a horrible restart back there in the Williams. We know how bad those hards fired up last time around, and this time around does seem to be the same story. But Pato has done well to stick with Z on this restart. He's less than half a second behind him. He has the straight line speed and ERS deployment to try and catch up to him. Both of them going wide on that. Speaking of wide, English Dave's joining the party. He can't afford to go wide. Down the outside, rounds the outside, goes Bombaz on the Haas drive. The outside becomes the inside very quickly, but he's not going to be able to make it on this occasion. Ghost Reaper gains up a position on Isa Walker as well, but Isa Walker says no thank you. I will take that straight back off you.
Why they're going to go is actually Hoodie P actually has a little bit of damage on his front wing. I just caught that on looking back on Dave's POV, as Dave now down to 6th. As Hoodie Pete has a little bit of wing damage as well. As you see, the left end plate is missing on his Alpine, so that's been laid on the track somewhere.
Yeah, but front left end plate definitely missing on the Alpine.
But yeah, Pete up to 5th, pretty much holding up a good gaggle of cars due to him not having much depth, but he's going to try not to pit. He's going to try to stay out to the end on his softs, as Walker did Pox to change his wing in a previous safety car. I am assuming, as I'm keeping a close eye on Dave to see if he does get that penalty. Remaining penalty, and he does.
Oh, he gets it.
21 seconds.
Oh, he's very lucky.
He hasn't been disqualified yet. I think it's 25 seconds.
Maybe it's 25 then.
A bit of lag on my
Pushes
screen.
Walker right off the track.
It's round 2 between Dave and Walker. Who's going to come out on top? Are they going to come together?
Neither of them.
As Hoodie Pete stays ahead as they head in towards turn 6.
Just managing to navigate that well.
The Ferrari Ghost Reaper, I think, hits, slightly taps the rear end of the Red Bull. Is now free sniffling in the sister AlphaTauri team. Goes round the outside in towards turn 9. And as actually, I think he got a little bit of a snap. Oh, that might be my lag, as always.
No, that's just your connection. Oh, down the inside, tries to dive Edie Walker, causes a collision between him and his sister AlphaTauri, and manages to gain the position, although I think there'll be a bit of a protest between that overtake. Ghost Reaper gets himself a 3-second penalty in the coincidence as well.
Walker's going to have a look up the inside of Dave into the final corner as Dave stays ahead. But yeah, Dave pretty much on what's the phrase in my called to being disqualified from this race. As Hoodie Pete goes a little bit wide out of turn 3 I should say, sorry, and gives the position up to Dave to try to get the DRS, but the DRS doesn't get enabled until end of the set. No, it has been enabled.
No, it has been enabled.
My apologies, as Bonza gets up the inside, goes side by side with Patterson in towards turn 6, a little bit further up the road, as Hoodie Pete gets back past Dave, I think, as he did with DRS.
All contact between Edie Walker and English Dave.
Right.
I think that was, English Dave getting tangled up with Edie Walker, and English Dave paying the cost.
Round 2 again, and Dave losing out, so it's 2-0 to Walker. In their battle, as I think the Ferrari Ghost Reaper went a little bit deep into turn 9. Is back with the for P1. This is as there's a DRS train of about 4 cars, led by the Haas of Z, followed by about 0.6 of a second behind to El Pato, and then a further 0.6 to Bonza, and then actually a second to Patterson. So Patterson maybe running slightly less downforce than the top 3 maybe, or he's just struggling with the lines that he took through that final sector.
Yeah, I think as things stand, the McLarens have definitely wrapped up their season here for the constructors. Z just wants one more win under his belt.
Walker in the Red Bull goes up the inside of the Ferrari. He will get the DRS as he was behind the Red Bull. So the Red Bull will get the DRS on the Ferrari. So it was a good move. As El Pato actually in the McLaren gets up into P1 up the road. Takes the lead of the race with 3 laps to go. In this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, as Dave ended up pitting after I think he got a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I think this could be retirement. He's not going to get much from it.
I think Z is going to go up the inside in towards turn 9 of El Pato, which is going to invite the Aston Martin, and El Pato could lose 2 places in one turn. Luckily enough, the Aston Martin did back out a little bit, as El Pato is struggling with his battery. It's on either 10 or 20%, whichever the one is flashing light.
10.
So it's around 10% as they now head on to start the penultimate lap of this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's a 3-way fight for the win. It's Haas versus McLaren versus Aston Martin. McLaren have already wrapped the constructors over the rivals Ferrari, heading as they will become what's it called? They will.
Constructors.
Yeah, I'm losing words.
It's been a long race.
It has, and even though I've been here since like lap 19, I think.
Yeah, around then.
So still a long way. As Hoodie Pete is also struggling a little bit with that broken front wing, as the Red Bull of Walker is going to pull to the left-hand side and gets past Hoodie Pete into the braking zone, but he's going to try and have a look down the inside in towards turn 6. E Walker goes a little bit deep, and they're going to go side by side through the chicane. Hoodie Pete tries to go around the outside, goes off the track, and he gets the move done, but he's going to get the DRS. The Red Bull's got the DRS as they head down in towards turn 9. Hoodie Pete gets ahead, but I do think he may have to give that place back. Unless
it was definitely an overtake off track. If He might be able to argue that Walker pushed him a little bit wide out the turn, but I think there's no love lost between these two drivers here.
As they are heading towards the hotel section, as Walker gets very close to Hootie Pete's rear end, and so does the Ferrari on the Red Bull. As again, the Red Bull practically pushing as Hootie Pete spins, makes contact with the Red Bull. Going through the hotel is now the Red Bull and the Ferrari going to go side by side in towards the bottom of the corner. Into the final corner we go, as the top three have started the final lap of this race. But we're going to focus on the battle for P6. As Walker's going to maybe have a look around the outside, but Hootie Pete defends the position well. As Hootie Pete, no, he's gone deep. Hootie Pete's gone deep, and Walker, he's just gifted Walker the position, but he could be playing a little bit of a DRS game. Go as they head down in towards the back straight for DRS number 1 of the lap. Here we go.
Yeah, DRS chicken being played here. A little bit of a wiggle there for Walker. Hootie Pete will get the DRS open, but I don't think it's going to be enough on this occasion.
Hootie Pete pulls to the left-hand side. Doves gets the fastest lap, but that won't mean anything. As Hootie Pete's going to have a look down the inside. No, he's not going to back out, but pulls across the Ferrari. As actually El Pato and Bombs are actually go side by side. Cut the broadcast short. As El Pato's dropped to P3, but it doesn't matter. As that's now heading to the final sector. Zink.
Hootie Pete dives down the inside on E-Walker. Sorry to cut you off. E-Walker immediately gets the switch back. Beautiful bit of defending there by E-Walker. Lets Hootie Pete come in for the fake overtake and then just grabs it back. Hootie Pete dives down the inside again. Contact between the two. E-Walker comes out on top. Ghost Reaper makes a move down the inside but isn't successful. Back up to the front three now. Go away, Owen.
As that happens, Z wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, wins the season finale. But McLaren, as Patterson crosses the line, McLaren are your constructors' champions of season 5 of F05, with El Pato being the drivers' champion who won that in Mexico a couple of rounds before. As actually Patterson moves up into P4, so that's more points for the McLaren team. As we see Dave making his way around the final corners. And he didn't get disqualified in the end.
He didn't. That's almost a victory for himself.
But he did get the fastest lap, and he's going to be doing...
Are we going to get donuts?
Victory,
Are we going to get donuts?
No. Oh no, just a burnout.
just a bit of a wiggle.
But yeah. Well done to Z for picking up the win here today. But the main story is that McLaren are your constructors' world champions in season 5 of F05 League Racing.
Yeah, well done to everyone. It's been a long season. Doing a realistic calendar is always a very big time commitment. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Thank you to Alex for running the league. Thank you for all the guys behind the scenes that do everything as well. Like we said, it is El Pato, your Drivers' Championship. McLaren take the Constructors, return it back to Woking where it belongs. And we're off now for a short season break, or not a full season break, but a Christmas break, spend time with family and whatnot. But we will see you in the new year. It will be on my Twitch channel. Stay tuned in the Discord. And thank you ever so much for joining us. And Owen, thank you so much for joining me in the comms box today.
You are very welcome, and I enjoyed filling in for you last week, and I enjoyed it again today. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we'll have more adventures in the comms box next season. But for now, it is good night and God bless. And have a fantastic Christmas.
Bye.